All right. Welcome back to another episode of Lobby Call. This is episode 15. We got Dan Foster here as usual.
What up?
And we have special guest, Asal.
Hey.
What's going on, girl? How are you?
I'm good. I'm sleepy, but I'm good.
There you go. There's a yerba for you.
I know. I have to
Yes.
crack myself out on this. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. For viewers and listeners who don't know, Asal is an artist, singer songwriter. I've worked with her via Louis Lastic. We had him up here
Shout out
last
to Lou.
season, and yeah, man, she's fire.
Thanks,
You know what I'm saying?
man.
And you know, she's doing her thing in the music world, and
Thank
you know, making songs and making some
hits.
fire.
Hits. Nothing but hits.
But I'll let you do your own introduction. Who is Asal for all the viewers and listeners? And
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter born in LA. Persian American,
okay,
born and raised in LA. That's pretty much it. Artsy
okay,
as fuck. Young lady. That's my
there we
identity.
go. How long have you been doing music?
I've been singing my whole life, but I was very shy growing up. So I went to an art school, like in a little art high school called Champs Charter, but I was quiet. And I started really pursuing it after high school. So I think I was like 19 by the time I started.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started learning to write. Once I met this like kind of clique of dope artists out of Arizona, mostly, and like Anderson Paak, kind of like watched him flourish, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And just a bunch of really dope people. And then I was inspired to start writing, and so I think now it's been like 5 years, 6 years, something
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll finish reading her intro. I worked kind of hard on this. All right, now,
Go.
Asal is a singer-songwriter with a sound that has been described as ethereal R&B with elements of soul. And I definitely do hear the lo-fi elements because that's, it's my
Ooh.
favorite. She's worked with Zakari, Colum, Connor, as well as the Stones Throw Collectives. I'm sorry, I
good.
just butchered that, but it's all right. Including Knowledge and Mind Sign.
Mind design.
Oh my God, I'm
Come on,
so
buddy.
sorry.
It's a hard one.
I was like, indie Mind Sign. Okay, but Mind Design.
Once more.
Right. At your leisure. But yeah, man, she's fire. I listen or hear music. I've actually worked with her. We have some music. I don't know if it's coming out now, but
Yeah.
whatever.
We were just talking about this. You're on the single that's coming out, actually.
Oh, well,
Yes, sir.
you heard it here first. What inspired you to be an artist, like the artist that you are now?
I mean, initially just my obsession with music growing up just kind of was natural for me to love music, but also I think I don't know, I don't communicate very well, I think. So it's cool to be able to like send messages, I guess, through, in that way instead of
Through music, okay.
yeah, I kind of get to hide behind it sometimes,
Nah,
which
I feel
is
you.
cool. Yeah.
I feel you. Okay. Like who are some of your musical influences that you like? You can hear in your music, or just in general.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny. I don't think I really. I don't know. I don't think it shows in my music and my writing.
Okay.
I mean, maybe like little things. I'm definitely influenced by. Frank Ocean was a big one for me when Channel Orange dropped.
Yep.
I don't know, his lyricism, like, for me was game changing, especially in like kind of the R&B world where I felt like everything was kind of the same for a while,
Yeah.
It was all like love, sex, which is dope, but
So-
like he added like some dimension that I think we needed.
Yeah, we were just talking about Frank Ocean a couple episodes ago, and just like how people kind of resonate with him and kind of connect with it, just like lyrics,
I love him,
and just the music
Sure.
and
Like,
whatnot.
I feel like that you're an excellent writer slash lyricist when you have a bunch of like cis straight men saying, "You run my mind, boy, running through my." You're so buff and
He
you're so
did
strong. It's like,
You're not wrong. He
like,
did
dude,
that.
it's so good, man.
Yeah, he's special. I don't know how that happened.
Where are you, Frank?
Where are you?
Come back.
Come back.
We miss
need
you.
I love you. Yeah. Well, so there's him. I did have like my obsessions with Aaliyah was a big one. And then like a little later I got into like some Anita Baker and stuff like that.
Hey.
A bunch of dope people, but I feel like it never really showed in my music. It was more like a feeling that I wanted to take from them rather than like literal.
Right.
Yeah,
I feel
literal
you.
things. Yeah.
Interesting. Dan, who are some of your like
My influences.
your influences and
I don't
inspirations
know.
musically that you can like kind of hear in your production?
Yeah, I feel like it varies. Like it varies like instrument to instrument. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And it varies like depending on what my role is in whatever I'm doing. If I'm producing, if I'm writing, whatever. Like if I'm composing something, then like we've talked about this a bunch on the podcast already. Like I model like Joe Hisaishi a lot.
Oh.
And I don't know if for people who like don't know who Joe Hisaishi is, it's like the guy that composes everything for Hayao Miyazaki, like all the Studio Ghibli shit, all the Spirited Away and Prince Mononoke, House Moving Castle, all that stuff.
Okay.
That's all Joe Hisaishi. A lot of that, and I think when I'm playing keys also. If I'm playing saxophone, I would love to say, oh yeah, Cannonball Adderley and like Charlie Parker and shit, like Love Bird, But I think like earlier, like when I started learning saxophone, I was like trying to like sort of model them a lot. And I think when I was in like early college, like I studied Kamasi Washington a bunch. And I think it was because I feel like comparatively, like every saxophone player, they want to play as many notes as possible, you know what I mean, and just play as quickly as possible. Sonny Rollins and Charlie Parker were all about that. But Kamasi, I think Kamasi was really good at like taking like a single idea, like maybe just like 3 notes or something, and repeating them over and over again, and just trying to like just make sure like how interesting this one simple lick is.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think I steal things like that from him. But yeah.
Interesting.
Simplifying is such a underrated thing too.
It is, man. I think it's
Yeah.
you said you came from like a charter school, basically, right?
Yeah, it was like a janky little. It was like, I think when I started going there, I was like 5 years old. It was brand new.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And there were literally like, the classrooms were not even really classrooms. It was like at the back of some old church. It was like, it was really crazy. But there were some super talented kids that went there, and yeah, I don't know. Watching them was fun. Like we didn't have football games. We had dance.
Yeah.
That's
tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm familiar. I think when I was in high school, I met a lot of cats who were from this one charter school called Henrico, in Henrico County. It's like sort of like Richmond area in Virginia.
Yes.
And like low key wasn't fair because they were so good at what they did, man. Because I mean, like like marching band and like music and art period was just sort of built into the curriculum. You know what I mean?
God,
So it's
yeah.
like everyone's studying like math and science and literature and stuff like that, and that's normal. It's public school.
Yeah.
But for them, it was like math, science, literature, and like deep music studies. You know what I mean?
Music Theory 300. and
Dude,
shit.
like literally, like they
Yeah.
could compete with like college level, like I mean like undergrad, level like musicians and stuff, and it was kind of scary, man.
Dude, in high school?
Dude, literally in
Yeah.
high school, man.
That's wild.
Yeah, and I think
That's
like
crazy.
when I was in marching band in high school, like we used to compete against them and we would lose every time. And
Oh
just
my
like it was not fair. There was no competition here at all. Henrico was coming, we were just like fuck, like we're gonna lose every time.
They did that just to fuck with your egos.
Okay.
I think
That's funny.
in me growing up in school is just like it wasn't really like it was either band, orchestra, or choir. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And like it wasn't really focused on music.
Okay.
You know.
Wait, where
I-
did you go to school?
I went to high school or college?
Both.
So high school, I went to a school called Granby High School. Shout out to the Comets. That's in Norfolk. And then I went in for college. I went to this place called Old Dominion University.
Okay.
That's in Norfolk too. In college, that's where I kind of like delve deeper into like music. You know what I'm saying? And like kind of like, you know, that's where I kind of got my musical upbringing and, you know, whatnot. So
yeah, man. At your charter school, was it like I don't know, when you were studying like music and voice and stuff, was it a lot of musical theater or like classical or jazz or what?
Well, the school offered, it was more drama and theater, yeah, but I did not participate because I don't know, I had really bad, I think when I was a kid it was stage fright, and then by the time I was like in high school it was just, I don't know, I was just quiet. Like I don't really know what the reason was.
I can get that.
Yeah.
I feel like I was the same way.
Really?
Do you think that music sort of like dragged you out of your shell a little bit, or are you like the same person?
I mean, it I don't know, like I always knew that I loved to sing, and that I wanted to, but yeah, it kind of, after I graduated high school and I was like taking my college classes, I just kind of always knew in the back of my mind that I wasn't where I was supposed to be and doing what I was supposed to be doing. And then with that, I kind of like had to make myself get over it, you know, and just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. And then just start doing shows. And then once I did, it was fun.
Yeah, I feel that. Is stage fright still an issue for you, or?
Not anymore, which is honestly, like, if you knew me as a kid, it would be shocking. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it went away. I think just
keep on like practicing and just keep on doing it?
Yeah, I think that, and I think also surrounding myself with, you know, other artists and creative people. It's just kind of like, that's not really on your mind anymore. Right. You're busy thinking about like the work. Yeah. You know, how the song's really going to sound and like all of that. So takes over, which is cool. I'm at that crossroads right now. It's just like, I don't have stage fright or anything. I've been performing in front of people, you know, since I was like 10 years old. But it's like I've always been like the support, like bass player or guitar player, you know what I mean? But now that I'm like going into the artist lane, it's like, oh shit, I gotta perform, I gotta sing in front of people, you know what I mean? Like it's pressure's like on. Yeah. So it's just I don't know.
Singing makes you like so much more vulnerable, you know what I mean? It's a thing, because I feel like if you're playing keys, you're playing sax, you're playing bass, it's like you're performing, but I feel like you're sort of hiding behind this thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not speaking, I'm making this saxophone say things. The saxophone is performing and the bass is performing, you know what I mean? Vocals, that's like a whole different level of like vulnerability, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're naked in front of a few thousand people, you know what I'm saying? It's just you gotta be confident, man.
For sure, man. Like it's the thing, man. So like once I get there, I'm like, all right, Asal, I need some tips. How do I not be afraid in front of crowds? Do you have you performed like that in front of? Okay. Never.
I can't wait. I'm about to be in the front row. As soon as you start doing shows and it's like just you and like some cats behind you, bro, I'm gonna be in the fucking pit. I'm gonna be the most obnoxious cat.
Please let me know.
Nah, but it's just, you know, once I do get to that crossroad, I'm sure like, you know, I might be like you and just like, okay, grow into it and just, oh, this is normal. Yeah. But like right now, I'm just like, and like I'm like hiding behind the pandemic right now because like, you know, everything is not. So I'm just like, yes, okay, I don't have to perform.
That's the thing. Also, you know, everything's scarier before you do it.
True.
So.
Very true.
Yeah. Just the idea of it's scary.
Yeah. I feel like I still have stage fright, but it's sort of morphed. Like the stage fright never really went away, but now it's not like I'm not like trembling because I'm scared to get out. It's like it's changed from fear to like really excited anxiety, you know what I mean? It's just like I don't know, if we're doing like a festival run or whatever, or so we're doing like a festival run and like, you know, you're still backstage because you haven't gone on yet, but you're like there's cast going on right before you, and you hear like they finish a set and like, y'all ready for Masego or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you hear everybody lose their fucking shit, you know what I mean? At that point my heart's like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not scared. I'm just like really excited, but also like really. Yeah. I have a lot of anxiety about it, but it's mostly just like excitement. Like I kind of want to get it over with and just like go on right now. You know what I mean?
You're like using the anxiety in a positive way. Almost.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just like, yo, please don't let my, you know, my bass mess up or string pop, because that's happened for like my bass amp catch on fire.
Shit,
Yeah, we were opening up for Erykah Badu.
Oh, that was nuts, man.
We opened up for Erykah Badu. We're doing the show, and I'm playing, and then I start smelling smoke. I'm like, am I smoking? What's going on? I turn around, like my bass amp is like literally pretty much on fire. I'm like,
yeah, no, I remember, man. Like the bass, the whole like bottom end of the show just went out.
Right.
For like 30 minutes.
Dude, what?
Sound like a guitar up there. I'm like, what's going on here?
It overheated?
Like
there's no way to
I
know.
think the stagehands must have had like set it up wrong. Like must put an input into an output, and an or something. Something happened.
That's
and
so scary.
yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah, that was real batchy, man.
Yeah, it was.
Yo, and we had like 2 shows back to back, and they gave you the same rig afterwards,
rig,
bro.
the same rig. I'm like,
And they knew what happened, and they did that.
I mean,
We were support, you know what I'm saying? We were on the road with Erykah Badu, so it's just like, you know,
Yeah, man.
it is what it is.
so I'll ask you a question that I ask almost everybody that comes up here. What is your idea of success? Like whether it be in like normal life or just like musically, what is your idea of success?
Definitely being able to influence people is like the biggest, is the biggest reason why I do anything probably. And then it would be ideal if with that I could live comfortably and take care of my friends and family and stuff like that.
Sure.
Right.
Of course, but yeah, no, definitely it's being influential.
And what, like musically influential or just like I don't know, Kim Kardashian? Not like that,
Right,
but
right,
like
right.
she has influence.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that, or just like like musically, or just like little girls want to be like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think
Oh, boys.
okay. I think influence is influence, but I think my specific, I don't know, like I have certain messages, you know, that I go by in my life that I kind of put into my music, and I want that to, what's the word?
Resonate?
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
really just resonate.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, you know, all I mean by influence, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
through
like,
music, of course, but yeah.
I never really thought about it like my idea of success is like, you know,
What's yours?
being able to like,
Talk your shit.
just being able to like do what you love
Yeah.
and make a living off of it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
just like be comfortable
Right.
and just have financial freedom doing what you love. But now, like, I never thought about, oh yeah, I want to influence people too. You know what I mean? Like, so
It
that's
just feels
probably going to be
good.
part of my my answer. Just like, you know, I
Yeah.
want to be influential and just kind of like you know, be part of the culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know. So yeah.
Push
What about you,
culture
Dan?
forward.
Has your idea of success changed, or is it still the same?
It's about the same, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I mean, like, obviously, you know, like we work in entertainment, you know, we know how successful, like, our friends and, you know, our coworkers are, you know. So naturally, like, I want to do what I love, and in the process, you know, be comfortable, you know, which is, like, very understated. Like, if I'm being, like, keep it hot, I want to make a pornographic amount of money doing what I love to do. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of bread. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't, I don't get me wrong. I definitely want to write music that so many people love, that they're just, like, it becomes a part of the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to be able to influence culture, and that's not so much of an ego trip for me. I think it's really just like I want to be able to like write things that resonate with people. You know, like I want to write something that sounds nostalgic to somebody, even if they've never had that experience before.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like that's I don't know why that's really important to me, but yeah, no, like, basically I want to be able to affect culture with music that I write, and I want to have the financial freedom. It's just like, oh, I can invest in this. I can
Go on
do this.
vacation,
Yeah, I can
and whenever you want to, and just
absolutely,
like,
man.
Yeah.
Like I want the option to like just hit my girl one day and be like, hey, let's go to Tel Aviv for a couple of weeks. No,
right.
I got you. Like,
Yeah.
And we just go.
Yeah.
Like we literally just like fuck off for 2 weeks
and not even worry about everything. You know,
exactly.
not have
like,
to worry about anything.
Yeah, I want to have the amount of freedom that's like I go somewhere and disappear for a month and come back with no repercussions. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like no, that's kind of what it is. Like culture and freedom at the same time.
Right. If you weren't doing music, like what would you be doing? Do you know?
Oh my God, so many things. I would be. Let me tell you all about it.
Ahead.
I would
Talk your
be
shit.
Yes, ma'am.
probably something in fashion for sure.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd be designing or what, but definitely styling, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then definitely want to work with kids in some capacity. I don't really know how, but
like what, teaching or what,
I just
daycare or?
I honestly, daycare was one of the things. I don't know. I grew up like I was always babysitting. I had a million jobs, quit all of them. The only one I ever enjoyed was when I was working with kids, like kindergarten students. And so I don't know. I just love kids, so that would be dope.
Were you working with them like in music or?
No, I used to teach reading.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was like it was so fun. It was so fun. I don't know. They're just crazy and they say whatever they want and they're so fucking cute. And it's great. I love it. So yeah, that. And then also I sound like a Disney character right now, but animals. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like my sister and I were talking about what was it?
A rescue.
Oh my God, yeah, a rescue. We want to do like some type of yeah, something like that. I think that's it. There's probably more that I'm not even thinking of right now.
Yeah. I think for me, like, definitely something. Well, originally, like when I was younger, I wanted to be a deep sea ichthyologist.
Stop.
That's like a
so
scientist who studies fish,
okay.
like deep sea fish. Always found the ocean very fascinating. And like I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be an oceanographer. But then I was like, oh, it's too much math. It's like, math is like my Achilles heel. So, but I don't know if I wasn't doing music. Oh, that's a good question, man. I wrote the question. I don't know the answer.
That's a good one.
I would probably doing something in like probably like film or something. Yeah, probably something in film. I don't know. That's a good question. What about you, Dan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably, I don't know, like when I was growing up, there were like a fuck ton of things that I desperately wanted to do. You know, I think like the first thing I ever wanted to be was like a fighter pilot. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're a kid, you watch a bunch of movies and stuff, and it's just like, oh shit, I want to fly fucking F-16s and shit, F-15s, you know, and a bunch of things. But I think now, or current, like in where I am in life now, and really like for the last like maybe 5, almost 10 years, like almost certainly a veterinarian. Like I would be a vet without a doubt.
Really?
You know?
Yeah.
I think like right now, like you know, like music's going like pretty well and stuff like that, and like I'm working on a bunch of cool things. But if it ever bottomed out, I would go back to welding and then literally use welding to like fund like going back to school to be a vet, because I think I love animals more than most things.
Same.
Same.
And animals love me for some reason. Animals and babies love me, man. I don't know what it is. Yeah. So.
Yeah, dude, like you remember like when we went to we did a couple of gigs in South Africa.
Oh yeah.
Shit, wait,
I didn't go.
Oh,
I stayed in the hotel.
Okay.
I was so tired. I was like,
you're bugged out.
Yeah,
dude, got to play with lion cubs.
What? Oh, that's
dude,
my dream.
Like, dude, looking back at what the last 3 years have looked like for me, for us, for the band and everything, I'm trying to remember a day that I enjoyed more than that day, and nothing's coming to mind, man.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my God,
Japan was pretty fun, and
Japan was fun,
and
we played with lion cubs.
What?
What
did you do? Like,
oh no, did y'all go to a raccoon cafe in Korea?
Yeah, in Korea.
Yeah,
no, that was not as cool. That wasn't nearly.
It wasn't?
No, dude, we played with. I don't think that you're understand. We played with lion cubs. They were like,
like you see raccoons every day.
I am dead,
dude. And they're adorable, man. It's just like they can't help it that they're like the perfect killing machine. They don't care. They just love you.
They just look like that, though.
Dude, absolutely, man. It was awesome. I had so many bruises when I left that place because they're like they're tiny but they're strong as hell. So they're gnawing on your arms and stuff.
Really?
And yeah, I
Are
have
their
like
teeth
videos.
sharp that young?
I mean, not like
their claws, right?
No, their claws were nuts. The claws were like almost the size of my hand.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and they can't have been more than like 6 months old. I think the guy was talking to us, and he was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, her name's Beyonce. She's 6 months old." And I was just like, dude, and yeah, she was tiny, but like she was super strong, man. And she was like gnawing on my calves and on my arms and stuff, and we're rolling around, and it was an experience, man.
That's a dream.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so this episode is going to be about the challenges of pursuing a music career. And I read in your bio that you lost friends and family over the decisions to pursue music. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's the tea?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Spill the tea.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
a loaded one.
Damn, bro. This might be our last podcast.
Right. Cancel. I'm sorry.
No. It's, yeah, I mean, basically, it's honestly a culture thing, I think. My family is my family's Persian and Jewish, and so, like, just very cultured, very traditional, in their ways, and, like, art is not really a thing. Like, like, of course there's art, but just pursuing music is not like the most common thing in the culture in general, and so I think it was super confusing for my family. Shit, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think it was just a confusing thing. It was weird for everybody.
Like, why do you want to do this? Why don't you want to?
Right. It's just it's like they've never heard of it.
Are you first generation?
Yeah,
okay.
I am. Yeah, so that was a big part
I
of
can
it,
only
for
imagine,
sure.
like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If my parents, like, I'm Nigerian, but like,
okay. Are you
not from Nigeria. You know what I mean? Like, I was born here, but like,
okay.
Ethnicity wise,
yeah,
be considered Nigerian, but like, I can just imagine like Nigerians in Nigeria, like, you want to come over here. Oh, why don't you want to be a doctor? Right. You know what I mean? Like, or so.
That's a hard conversation to have.
It is, man.
Like, immigrant mentality is so similar. Like,
right.
I mean, ultimately, like, immigrants like migrate, to like have a better life and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, I'm I'm a son of immigrants and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's so similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you have parents who came here so that you would have more opportunities and stuff like that.
And
it's
then
like,
you're like,
I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, like, now this is an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
exactly. No, that's exactly what it is. I think also, I don't know, it's very like, at least with my family, there was no concept of like any clear path to being a musician or an artist in any way. You know what I mean? Like, in their minds are like, you can go to school, you can become this, and it's clear, it's easy, I guess, quote unquote. But with musicianship, it's just a little
it's very non-traditional. You know what I mean? I think
yeah.
a lot of times, especially my parents or my mom, at least, it's like she grew up in an era where you learn a trade, you work at a job for, you work for a job for 40 years and then you retire.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
it's the way it is.
I think she doesn't really understand. I think a lot of older people don't really understand, like, yo, you can really make a career from music.
I wish we could show them what we've seen. You know what
That's
I mean?
what I'm saying. Like,
we see it
I
all
think
the
my
time.
mom
It's
is like,
everywhere.
she's starting to like, okay, I see it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when I get placements with like Insecure and other things. I can't name it now because it's not out yet.
Talk
but
your shit.
Let's go.
But so like she's starting to see it, but like, I get what you're saying. Like, especially immigrants.
Right. It's not
like
uncommon.
it's a different You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a culture divide because, you know, if you're, you know, someone like me I'm like third generation, you know what I mean? So like there's like I'm sort of like very into like American culture, you know, because I was born here, you know what I mean? But it's also like a generational divide, you know what I mean? Where, you know, your older parents, like there's things like job security where you could go work for a factory, you could go work for a company and have, you know, like just you have the job security to hang out for 30 years, you know, and have a pension when you retire and stuff like that. You know, it's no big deal. I don't know, like coming from the kind of background that you have, do you feel like you have more of a responsibility to be successful in what you do?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, not only for that reason that you named, but also just to kind of like open the door in a way, I guess, or like just show that it's a thing, you know? It's not some like unheard of mystical like
it's not like trying to get into the NBA.
Right.
And,
like I'm not an alien. I just this is, you know, like it's not that crazy. I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, it's not that crazy.
Right.
There are musicians everywhere. We're in Los Angeles. Like, you know? So yeah, for that reason too, it's like, that's important to me. I think it would be so helpful for them to just see, you know, like some change.
Right.
Yeah.
And you say you lost friends too?
Kind of. I mean, like, close family friends that I grew up with had kind of a hard time understanding, I guess. And then also, like, at the same time, it's just very hard to, you don't have the same schedule as these people, you know, and they're just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you at the studio and not here with me doing this at school? And, you know, and then, you know, people grow up and we grew apart and they're lawyers and doctors and I'm singing, you know? So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. I think why it's important to like kind of surround yourself with people with like minds and and who are kind of like open-minded enough to kind of support you.
Yeah.
You know, whether you walk the path they want or walk the path that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't lost any, and this is like a different perspective because like you have, but I haven't really lost any friends or family per se because I'm pursuing music. But I think that might be just like a cultural thing too, because, for sure. You know, my family's just like, oh, and some of them are like, oh yeah, I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you trying to, you know. So, yeah, man.
That's it's hard to get that because I feel like my parents are. I come from like a family who's like very like musical. Like we're basically like the mixed kid Partridge family.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
okay.
Where it's just like, you know, like everyone in my family is very creative, very artistic, very musical, and stuff like that.
I love that.
But also, you know, like. You know, my dad's like he's Bajan, he's from Barbados, like straight from the island. You know what I'm saying? So he still has, you know, a lot of like heavy like immigrant mentality. You know what I'm saying? He's very, very practical, very down to earth. Like, hey, like die in the wool. Like, these like, listen, do this. Like, you go, you know, like my mom and my dad both are like, hey, go to college, do this thing, study what you want, but make sure when you graduate, you know, you can build a living for yourself and for your family and stuff like that.
Which is important.
Yeah, it's super important, and it's difficult, man.
Yeah.
But I think in the last few years, you know, just even if it's just like me talking to them or seeing, you know, like just like random Instagram posts and stuff like that, like finally they believe that, hey, this can be a thing.
Yeah.
You know, like teaching your family who has like completely different mentalities as you is difficult to do, but once they see like the fruits of your labor, it's just
right.
You know, it's
once the check comes in.
Yeah, man.
Right.
You can totally explain to them like, hey, I know it's a little bit unorthodox culturally, but this is achievable. We can do this. We can build this.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's almost like you kind of got to have like a entrepreneurial mindset
for sure
when you're doing like pursuing music and shit. Like it's like, like you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. If you're a musician, then it's not just, you know, if you're a musician, if you're an artist, you're a writer, whatever. You're not just like you're not just working, you're building a product. You yourself are the product.
Right.
You know what I mean, like people contact you because you personally are good at what you do. You can sing, you can write, you can take your skills and make all these people better for it. You know what I mean?
So true.
And that kind of leads us to the first question. It's just like, what's your personal biggest challenge when working towards a career in music? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Probably what we just talked about. Just kind of not having, like my loved ones, a lot of my loved ones being like on the same page as me was a big thing. And then being broke was a tough one. Was a tough one that I almost didn't think of. Yeah, those two, and then probably I would also name, honestly, being a woman making R&B music was like, I don't know. It took a second.
Like what was the challenges?
It's there a lot. Everyone I was working with was a guy, like there were men just like everywhere, which is cool, but also like I kind of needed someone to relate to, I feel like, in a different way. Yeah, different energy. And I, it was kind of hard to find, so just for that reason.
Have you worked with any female producers?
I have.
I only know of one.
They're nowhere.
I only know of one.
Where are y'all? Can y'all come on?
Dude, call us.
What's her name? Wonder Girl? Wonder Girl.
Yeah.
That's the only one I know, though.
She's great.
You know what I mean? Like,
I worked with 2 female producers. Nothing was released, though, so I don't know. But I mean, I worked with like Softest Heart. Have you heard of her?
No, my head.
She's dope. Now she's like on her EDM shit, so it's a whole other ball game. But she's dope. And then DJ Shiva. Do you know her? She's like the only other Persian musician I know.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah, she's dope too. But nothing's been released, and they're like the only 2 female musicians even. Side singers, yeah.
What's the difference in energy, do you think? Like working with like a male producer versus like a female producer?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, it just depends person to person, really. Obviously, but I don't know. There's just like an unspoken thing with girls, I think, that we have like a comfort level, I don't know. I can't really describe it.
Not for you.
But
That's interesting, man. Because I think at the Insecure camp, for the first time in my life, I went into like a room, just to like cut some like keys or whatever, or just give input on harmonies and stuff, where like the producer was a woman, the engineer was a woman, the vocalist was a woman.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out.
This was
Was that there?
No, you left. I think you were still in Louis' room.
Oh, okay.
And so I walk in, and it's like 3 or 4 women and me, and just like typically like I just like you, I work in sessions where it's mostly men, the musicians are men, the producers are men, the engineer is
right,
and stuff like that, and like no cap, the energy was just it was the most supportive environment I've ever been in my entire life. It was, dude, like everyone was so positive. Like
you could do it,
like after every take, after everything, like everyone was just like complimenting each other the entire time.
That's the thing.
And I was like, this is the opposite of what I'm accustomed to. I'm uncomfortable because like Max will tell you, if we're ever in a session together, I'm talking shit the entire time.
I'm sorry.
So is he.
Like,
that's
Well, no, not me, but yeah, you definitely.
You be talking shit. Like
retaliation, shit talking. That's it.
And it's. I mean, like I don't know. It was just so interesting. I've never really been.
I've never seen. I was just saying, where are the lady engineers?
Yeah. Where are the lady musicians? Period. Like there, there are a lot of like singers, songwriters, but I don't see like musicians. Like not really.
Yeah. True.
There's I know a couple female drummers, Pocket Queen, and they're out there, but like it's not a lot. Is it like a cultural thing? Like, is it just like, oh, women aren't musicians? I know they are, but I'm like,
yeah, no, I don't know that.
Outside of like classical music, you know what I'm saying? I don't see a lot of bass player women bass players. I don't see a lot of women guitar players.
That's so interesting. I've come across way more like female classical musicians.
Yeah, for sure.
Than like jazz, like almost never.
None.
Like R&B, like almost never.
Right.
Like, you know, like it doesn't happen that often.
I don't know why that is though. Why do you think that is?
I don't know that I'm smart enough, especially right now because I've been drinking for the last like 2 hours. I don't know if I can properly like dissect and diagnose all the issues, all the chauvinist issues in the industry. Not right now.
I'm just thinking about it. It's like I don't know. It might be just like gender roles and what gender norms and like you know like traditional gender roles. Like the woman traditionally supposed to be caretakers in the house and you know taking the house and then the man just goes out. So I don't. Maybe it's like a holdover from that. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard the argument that generally speaking, men are interested in things and women are interested in people, which is why you end up with so many more like female nurses than you do male nurses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I've heard the argument, but also like
that's okay.
Like if you're a performer, if you're a writer, if you're a composer, whatever, you know, like sure music is a thing, but ultimately the goal is to share. You know what I mean? So which tells me, like that we should have way more female musicians. We should have way more female, like, you know, composers and engineers and stuff like that. Because that's essentially what we're building. We're building something to share with everybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't know.
That's a good point.
Interesting point.
Yeah, no, that's a tough one.
I don't know. For like my personal biggest challenge though, when working towards music, especially starting off, was definitely finances. Okay. That's a big thing. Especially like I moved from Virginia out here. I quit my job. I was working at a hospital, very stable. But then I was like, you know, I'm gonna follow my dreams. I'm gonna quit my job, and then I went on tour with Masego, and then we moved out here. But it's just like, you know, you don't have that stability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That and just like self-doubt. Am I good enough? Are people gonna, you know, fuck with my music? Are people gonna fuck with me? Trying to, I think another one for me is just like trying to like musically struggling with the idea of just like, okay, do I be myself musically and not and maybe not pop off because I don't sound like what is popular and what's popping, or do I kind of like not sell my soul but like try to lean in towards the more of the popular you know popular route and like what everything sounds like on the radio so that I can be successful, like get, you know, be able to pay my bills and stuff like that. So I think for me that's one of the biggest challenges for me is just like, you know, being afraid of failure and being afraid of being afraid of not being able to the general population not fuck with my true artistic self. You know what I mean? So
that's a big thing. Finding your identity too.
Yeah.
Your musical identity. Yeah, that's tough.
Do you feel like, I mean, you're talking about like finding your identity. Do you feel like right the second you have a sound that's specifically yours? And how long did it take you to build that?
That's a good question. I do. I think that there's still so much room for specification / I think that I'm going to continue to have phases. A lot of, you know, which I love. All my favorite artists are like, you know, you want to kind of like go with them on their phases, and they're, you know, they completely change their identity sometimes, and it's fun. And yeah, so I think I do for now, but I always want to like play, you know, I always want to switch it up. I guess. Yeah. Do you? Wait, how many instruments do you play? I wanted to ask you before.
Oh, like comfortably? like
yes.
Like, I mean, right? If I'm being honest, like, 2. Like, I mean, I play like a bunch, but like, I only play 2 instruments well enough to say, hey, you have to pay me to do this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like you know, like saxophones and piano or you know, keyboards or whatever. You know, that's about it. Like I don't know, like I dabble, like I fuck around when I play guitar and stuff. But I'm not confident enough as a guitar player to say, hey, you have to pay me to play this. Or I'm certainly not comfortable to get, you know, on stage in front of a few thousand people and say, hey, in front of 10 people to say, hey, listen to what I did earlier today. You know what I'm saying? That's not happening. Like today, tomorrow, next Sunday's not looking good either. You know, like it's probably not.
Okay.
Do you play also?
I do not, no. I just sing. I played keys when I was like a little child, and then I just let myself forget, which I regret. Bars.
I'm with that. It's like, what's the songwriting process for you? Do you feel like
Ooh. I usually, it depends, but I'm usually humming something first. And also even prior to that, I'm like listening to certain things that give me the feeling that I kind of, you know, I don't know, setting the mood basically.
I feel you.
And then yeah, I'm humming. Sometimes I'll take out my little voice memo app and record it, and then I'll go in later with lyrics that are usually like already lingering in my head, or I wrote down in my notes somewhere, or like things like that. And then some songs take 10 minutes, some songs take 4 months for some reason.
Yeah,
I understand.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Like, I mean, as someone who doesn't, you know, like play a bunch of like, or you're not like super comfortable playing like piano and stuff like that. When you're writing a song, you know, without a producer present, are you, even if you're just like humming voice memos and stuff like that, are you also building something in the background? You know what I mean? Even if you don't know exactly what the chords are going to be, you know, do you know what you want the song to sound like while you're like, you know, like singing something into your phone?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it'll be very clear instrumentation, like weirdly clear. Like, I'll know that I want it to be kind of like, I don't know, like some crazy violins in the background, but I don't know the exact chords.
Sure.
But I just know the feeling. And then sometimes I'm going through beats, and I have to really like, I don't know, it has to hit me. It helps when I'm bored and I'm listening to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, absolutely.
Because then when something really like gets you out of that, you know it's good. And yeah, I don't know, it's different every time. And honestly, the ones that I write really quick end up the best somehow. They like black out, which I've heard a lot of artists talk about, which is super fun. They like just surrender it or something, you know? You're like not even there. I don't know.
I get that, man. Because I feel like sometimes it's, you know, you're not. Sometimes when I'm writing, if I'm composing or whatever, it's when I'm really into it, I don't feel like I'm writing. I feel like I'm just like discovering something that was already there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't us. It was something else.
Like,
yeah.
And I'm certainly not like a spiritual person or whatever, but like somebody gave me this. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Same.
I feel you. Yeah. What are some challenges for you, like pursuing music, like whether it be production, live, whatever? What are some of the challenges that you kind of undergo?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things. You mean like creatively, or
just what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
what are some of the challenges when pursuing a music career?
I think I spent most of my time, most of my career, you know, even like just like before I moved to LA and like really pursued the thing, just my collegiate career, you know, studying classical music, studying jazz and stuff like that, and you know, being that asshole college, you know, hyper intellectual about shit who can't listen to anything and just not, you know, like
music
Charlie,
snob.
You know,
yeah, music snob.
I was a complete snob.
Same. I used to be
like that. So like those, like all the tools that you get from studying, you know, even if it's personal study or college study or whatever, like I think they're very useful in being like a really good musician. But when you're trying to like write music that everyone can enjoy and like that affects culture, a lot of times it's not especially useful. You know what I mean? Because it's just like,
true.
Like sure, I can do like, you know, I don't know, just random D sharp like 15, flat 11, all that nonsense. You know, it's just like, okay, sick. Who wants to hear that? You know what I mean? So I think when I moved here, like my biggest hurdle was learning, it's like basically how to shut up. You know, like and I think when you're in college, it's like, oh, dude, why is this so poppin'? I can't listen to pop music. This is not hitting for real. Like, dude, yes, it is. You're just being a dick. That's what the problem is, man. So like, at first, my biggest hurdle was you know, learning how to play fewer notes that are like just basically be effective and intentful when I'm writing. You know what I mean? Like, you're a musician, you know, you're a vocalist. It's very easy to like do a bunch of runs and stuff like that and flex. You know, like when you're recording. But it's not.
It's not the point.
Yeah, every time it's not. Learn to be tasteful.
Yeah, tasteful. You know, like I can play like 50 notes or whatever, and everybody's like, oh, that was really impressive, and no one will remember what you did afterwards.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you want to affect culture, you know, you want to like lyrically write something that everyone's going to remember, that's going to resonate with somebody. You want to melodically write something that's going to be like, yeah, like you can relate to this, and you're going to remember this when you leave here.
Right.
And for anyone to study music, I think that's really difficult to do. So I think that, and I don't know, like my studies were very like old school. You know what I mean? Where I can like listen to something and then orchestrate it for like an orchestra or whatever, like by hand, sheet music, all that bullshit. But that's I don't need that. What I need to know is how to
program,
how to sound design and stuff like that. You spend all this money in college, and by the time you leave,
right, you don't even fucking need it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like
a waste.
That's crazy.
I don't want to say it's a waste because I really love it.
I love it too.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you ever need me to listen to something and transcribe it, I got you. And I'm genuinely gonna enjoy that. But you know, as far as making something that I write not only like musically interesting but sonically interesting, it's difficult to do. So I think that, you know, when I first moved here, and even now, you know, it's that's a big hurdle for me.
Yeah, that's true, man. What types of relationships suffered the most, do you think, when you're striving for like to be a music artist? I'll start with you, Asal. What do you think? I mean, I know we talked about like, you know, family not supporting you and you know, seeing your vision, but are there any other?
Yeah, I mean, definitely that. Also, I think a work ethic thing. Like I'm always doing something. I enjoy it, and I think that I don't know, that did something to my relationships too, where I couldn't always I couldn't share time with certain people, friends, stuff like that. But also, it wasn't that crazy because most of my friends are, you know, they make music too, or there's some type of, you know, something creative. Right. So it wasn't that crazy for me. Yeah.
I think for me, like, whoa there. I think for me, like, well, I think the main thing was just like you, just like kind of like my family. But even then, they're very supportive of what I'm doing. Maybe like romantically.
Really?
Talk about it.
I could
tell me all about it.
Casualty of tour, ladies and gentlemen. Casualty of tour.
Nah, I mean, look, like, you know, especially if you're trying to be an artist. I don't know. I think maybe one can like say, oh, maybe I need to like hide my relationship to be more sexually appealing.
That's a thing.
That's definitely a thing. Or just like, you know, if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, you know, you kind of don't post pictures on IG or, you know, whatever, just to kind of have this image of just like, you know, I'm sexually available that way to kind of like bring people in to like,
sure. If
you
sex
know
is
what I mean?
A part of your brand, then
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like if I don't know, if your whole brand is being, you know, topless and muscly, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get it, you got muscles, you know what I'm saying? Like if that's what your brand is, you know what I mean? Like it's what happens to your brand after like you get married and everyone like notices you getting married, you know what I'm saying? Are you still as appealing when you got a bunch of baby oil on you, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, you know,
that's a good question. It's like, I don't know. I've been thinking like people like, I don't know, Tank Tank is very.
Yeah, that you play for Tank.
I opened up for Tank once and I played for him for once, but that's bad story. But you know, he
is he married?
Yeah, he's last time I checked, yeah,
okay,
he's married, but like he can also be on stage shirtless and like you know what I mean. It doesn't really affect him, but some people, you know, it kind of does affect them.
I mean, does he like show off his wife and okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it worked for some people and some people it doesn't work for. So I don't know. That could be like. Yeah.
No, I get it. Because like J. Cole, you know, like obviously, like, you know, even though like a lot of women find him attractive or whatever, his brand isn't, you know, shirtless and being sexy on stage and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't his whole situation. But when he dropped, you know, so I think he could effectively drop, you know, folding clothes and stuff like that, you know, and talk about, I want to fold clothes for you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's talking about, you know, drinking almond milk and stuff because his wife put him on the almond milk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a sex symbol, you know, like you can totally get away with it, I think.
He never really shows his
no idea what she looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, is that a thing? And is that like, I don't know, I'm not in a relationship or anything like that, but does his wife feel some type of way that he never, you know, shows her and shit? So
I don't know. It's probably
these are the questions I'm like, interesting. You know what I mean? So
Kendrick too.
Yeah, Kendrick.
Come on, buddy.
Chance the Rapper, maybe. Well, he kind of. Yeah, his whole album
catalog is about his wife.
Oh, is it?
No shade, Chance. I still love you. Like Sunday Candy is still my shit, bro. Tap dance was lit too.
How would you describe yourself? Would you be more so an introvert or an extrovert?
Definitely introverted. For sure.
Yeah.
And like it's getting worse with age. Like it's it's every year it's more and more. But yeah, I don't know. I like to meet people a lot. I like to socialize. I don't know. I love talking to people, but also I do feel like drained afterwards.
Yeah.
Which I know is like the defining
Yeah.
Gotta charge your social batteries, man.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's
I'm just I'm same here, man. I'm a textbook introvert.
That's hard.
I don't say textbook. I say I'm an extroverted introvert.
Okay.
Like I don't mind talking to people and going out places and stuff like that, but like after the first 30 minutes I'm like, I'm gonna go now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
just told me there's a term for both, like for being both. I don't remember what the term is now.
I forget.
You gotta Google that.
But yeah, I'm just like I'm like a straight up homebody. You know, I don't go out. I don't be going out to clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I get anxiety sometimes
thing.
when I'm in front of like groups of people I don't know. Just like that Insecure writing camp. It was pandemonium.
Yeah,
like,
that shit was nuts.
It was crazy. But I just felt like so much anxiety, like just too much going on, and people I don't know. I didn't know anyone there really, and so it's just like I want to go home. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
I want to go home. What about you,
like
Dan? Dan's definitely like extrovert.
Really?
I mean, to an extent, I think.
Dan's like, let's talk.
No, are you
a social butterfly?
Yeah, he is.
I wouldn't say I'm a social butterfly. I mean, I love like meeting people. I love having conversations.
He's a social moth.
That's fucked up. Yeah. No, I think I enjoy. Oh God. I enjoy like I just enjoy talking to people. I love having conversations with people that I've never met before. I mean, like I'm to the point where I don't thoroughly enjoy the club anymore. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we've done enough shows in clubs and festivals and shit. You know what I'm saying? At no point do I feel like I need to go to the club and pay $50 for 2 drinks to have a good time. You know what I'm saying?
That's a dub. That's an L.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely like a bar person. You know what I mean? I'd much rather like hit the bar with like 4 or 5 homies and just kick it. Or I think I'm an introvert when I'm around people that I have literally nothing in common with. And granted, like I'm always going to be interested in like talking about, hey, like what are you interested in, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it's and I enjoy a lot of things, but I can't. Yeah,
I feel like you're just normal. That's
I feel
normal.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Dan's
ideal.
like really, 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 really great at like networking and talking to people and just like interacting with people. Me, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm sure I missed so many opportunities just because of, my inability to like, hi, I'm, such and so, and talking to people. Like, I'm sure I missed like tons of opportunities because I suck at networking and I suck at talking to people.
I think that's a muscle though. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that like when I was younger, like honestly I was a complete like recluse. I couldn't talk to anybody until maybe like sophomore year of college. Where it was just like, so I'm like, 20, 21 years old and I was just like, hey, I need to learn how to. If I'm being honest, like it was because I was trying to get girls to like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it was.
Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100 up here.
I was like, bro, I got no game. And at that point I was actively trying to, just talk to people just to learn how to have a conversation. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's important. And like I enjoy talking to people. So, it was just like, hey, how do I get women to like me? And I think from that grew like, my ability to like network. And
how did you just like learn it though? Like where did it start? What was step one? Did you just
try?
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I think that's all it was, man. But also, like, I'm interested in a lot of things, and I think if you know a little bit about a lot of things, you can have a conversation with them, like almost anybody. True. You know what I mean? Like
jack of all trades.
Yeah, it's literally just like relatability, because that's all conversations are. It's just like, hey, let's exchange ideas based on similar experiences that you and I both had. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's, to me, that's really all it is, man. I like a lot of shit. Yeah.
There's a saying. It says, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but it's better than a master of one.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
It's something enlightening. You did. Do you think extroverts fare better in like creative industries, like musical careers? I think yes. Like I said before, like I know I have like missed opportunities because my introvertness. You know what I'm saying? And people come up to the house like, and I want to stay in my room or not even interact. I think yes because they're able to talk to people and network with people. But
sure.
What do you think?
I think definitely yes, but I don't think that it's 100% necessity. I think we've seen there's so many like today there's so many clearly introverted artists that are crazy successful. I know The Weeknd, Frank Ocean, perfect example. He's nowhere. Where's he at?
Right.
But we love him.
Right.
He doesn't need to say a word. It's fine. I know The Weeknd had I don't know if he had stage fright or what it was, I heard, but he's top of the top. And Adele, I think. I don't know who else, but like clearly not a necessity I think to be an extrovert. And I think also there's something about introverts that allow creative people to like you're in your bubble and you're making things, you're being creative. But yeah.
What about you, Dan? What do you think?
What do you think?
I think it's the same, but I think it how important one thing sort of shifts depending on where you are in your career. I think in the beginning, like I don't mean like the very beginning, when you just start playing and shit. I mean when you get to the point where you
first moved to LA.
Exactly. I think it's very important to be a little bit extroverted because like we can't do this shit by ourselves.
No man's
like it doesn't matter how lit you are. If no one knows you're lit, then you can't get a Grammy. You can't play for thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's because you need someone who's in those circles to help you build your career.
For sure.
That's what it is. So I think networking is very important at the top of your career, and then. Like once you've sort of established your brand, you've established your sound, all those things, I think it helps to be an introvert because I feel like introverts have way better work ethic than extroverts. You know what I'm saying?
Think
like
so?
That might be a thing. That might be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're like if you're a creative, like say for instance you're an artist, if you're into photography and stuff like that. A lot of us, producer, whatever. I feel like a lot of us thrive because we're not being social. We're in our rooms doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like you're honing your skills and stuff like that. It's just like, hey, I spent 10 hours today working on just my craft, writing this song, writing this fugue, whatever the fuck you're working on.
A fugue?
You know what I'm saying? Like that's I mean, you know, if you're a classical dude, you know, do your shit.
Right.
You know
I was writing this
like,
Gregorian chant yesterday. I was writing this chanson, and
but yeah, no, like, I think that's what it is,
That
man.
makes
Because
sense.
I think to sort of like once you get to a certain level, to keep competing at that level, you need to be very into what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like why I feel like why do you think Masego is so successful? You know what I'm saying? Like he's, you know, when he was younger, when he was building his career, he was hyper social. You know, he was all over the place. And now he's like, once he's in album mode, he's not talking to anybody. He's not going anywhere. He's right here.
Right.
You know, he's in sessions all the time, doing his thing. And I think
but yeah, he's like me, right? Like he's definitely a homebody, just like me, introvert, just like me. But he knows how to talk to people.
That's
you know what I'm
thing,
saying?
yeah.
And that's something I haven't awakened yet. Like I haven't really like hone that craft. It's a craft, talking to people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when you get, I have like anxiety talking to people I don't know and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So even right now, like in this podcast, like it's not, I don't have anxiety, but it's just like, Asal's here. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
it takes energy. It just
for
takes
sure.
energy. Yeah.
For sure. So yeah, man. I think we just talked about this. What musical challenges do people face as a result of being an introvert? And like I said, I think
you can't do it yourself, man.
Yeah, for sure. You can't. You got to network with people. You have to, especially when I first moved out here, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. You know, I was more so an introvert. Like I didn't go out anywhere unless it was like gig related or a session or something like that. Yeah. But you know, I probably would be further along in my career had I been more extroverted and networked more. So yeah, man. Anything else to add to that, to the you know, challenges of being an introvert?
I think also, I don't know, I think it also depends who you initially have around you. I mean, I guess it's different. I'm thinking in terms of like, I was born and raised in LA. So I didn't have the whole thing of like moving out here for, you know, looking for certain people. It was kind of just like, I don't know, you know, it began
like
already.
I was born in it. Molded
to
by
an
it.
extent, but you know, like people that were already around me, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, man. What is something you want to be different about the music industry in like the next 5 years?
Ooh.
I'll start with you, Dan. What you think?
Wow, that's a big question.
Yeah. What do you want?
Because entertainment is so problematic.
Oh,
That
for
stresses
sure.
me out.
Yo,
for sure.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of issues with the industry. I think, you know, I mean, like if just going back, you know, it's so male dominated.
Yeah,
you know, like that's having it be less male dominated is something that I think the industry could definitely benefit from. Like entertainment law.
How does one do that though? How does one make the music industry less male dominated?
That's gonna be a whole culture shift that Loki's gonna have to be bred out. If we're being honest, like it's
you think so? Like,
yeah, it's not gonna happen soon.
Is it something that like do you think that there are like powers that are like preventing women from like
actively? No, I think it's completely passive.
Okay.
I don't think anyone's saying, "Hey, no, make sure no women come here." I think it's certain mentalities that people have that promote that sort of thing, that just make it like very comforting for men and less comforting for women.
Or is it that do women even want to be in the music industry? Is that a thing? Like, and aside from the role of just singer, songwriter, artist, there are other roles in the music industry that, you know, do women not want to be bass players, guitar players, producers, mixers, audio engineers?
I don't know.
Is that a thing? Or?
I mean, if they don't, I'd want to know why. You know, there's some like weird societal thing. I don't know what it is really, but
do you think it's more like it's like I don't know this, but this is just like an assumption of mine. Most women don't want to be mechanics. Is that like do you think that's like the thing or
I don't know.
Most women don't want to be trash men. You know what I'm saying? Is that
I really don't know. I think it's just like a societal norm that we're just like it happened and we're just kind of going along with it still, and it's going to take time to grow out of.
Okay.
I really don't know. It's a good question.
I mean, I think it would certainly help if there were more, like if there were more like women producers or whatever for other like little girls to idolize.
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
Right.
It's very easy for me to like think of, like think of people who have influenced me creatively, in the last 20 years, but they're all for the most part men. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's not because I don't appreciate like female musicians or female composers or whatever. It's just because there's just so many more of them. All of my favorite things just happen to be written by men, unfortunately. That's just what it is.
I'll say like one like composer that's female woman is a woman, Yoko Kanno.
I'm not hit. Put me on.
You're not? Wow.
Maybe her work, but not.
Yeah,
her
Yoko
personally.
Kanno. She's writes like stuff for like Cowboy Bebop, just the soundtracks.
That's
for, like,
shorty.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's so lit.
Yeah. Cowboy, that's how I got turned on to it.
So tight.
Yeah, I was like,
that's
oh.
just busting. Yeah, no, that's awesome,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
You know that song? Okay, never mind.
I thought that was a really bad interpretation of what
No,
I
I sang it perfectly. It's fine. Yeah. So
yeah, I think that I feel like producers and musicians need to be paid way better for streams.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
Right this second, just because where I am in my career, what I'm saying, like this is not sustainable. It's one of those things that's only sustainable once you're at the extremes of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can work on a song and it streams so well that you don't have to work, for the rest of your life. You can put your money into something else that's just where your money works for you. But right this second, being creative, like the fact that if you're just talking masters and you're just talking Spotify, that you get 1 million streams for something, you get 4K out of it on the master side before splits or anything. Just like, that means that your song was so good that 1 million people on this planet, or 1 million people, just 1 million.
Yeah.
That's not even, like, by industry standards, that's not even a lot.
It's not.
But the fact that just 1 million only nets you like 4K before anything else.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, what's that about?
Is
utterly
nuts.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So there's.
It's a scam. I said this last
Yeah.
episode. Like I feel like that's a scam, yo.
Yeah.
It's a scam.
No, but I mean, like, granted, like I really appreciate how much easier it is right this second to write something, and it's so readily accessible, for a bunch of people. And like this because you're an artist, you know what I mean. Like you had like no real backing and stuff like that.
Right.
No one was throwing $50K at you to like shoot videos and stuff like that. You're just like, hey, I have a good idea, for a melody, good idea for a song. I'm just gonna put it out and people listen to it. It's so much easier now to write something and have people discover you. That's awesome. But also it's
I feel like you could do both. You can do both. You can write things and people discover you and all that jazz. And you can also get paid what you deserve.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I feel like it could be both.
You're
entertainment
right,
law like Taylor Swift was onto something. You know what I'm saying? Like entertainment law needs to change so that people are compensated well for the work that they do. But I feel like those are like, for me, those are the two like biggest things that probably need to change about the industry.
I honestly don't know if that will ever change.
I think,
you know what I'm saying? Because
I think it will.
You think so?
I think there are enough artists and enough like people making us think about it that it could be a thing. And maybe it won't be in our lifetime. I think it could be. Okay, well, for sure. I think it'll change. It's not going to happen tomorrow, and it might not happen for 10 years. But I think it is possible that it can change in our lifetime.
I think in order for it to change, like it will have to be like a group effort. Like every especially with the major artists, a lot of them are signed to like major labels and stuff like that. They may we might have to like come together.
Sure.
And like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We the people, the artists.
Sure.
We want, this. We want this change. So.
It might take somebody who's so influential in the industry that if they move, the industry moves with them.
Like a Drake or somebody?
Yeah, I'm saying like it'd have to be like something like
there
Drake.
Was like Kanye or tweeted like all his contracts at a point. Remember that? He was like tweeting every just contracts, and he was talking about how unfair it is and. Yeah, it was a big
trash,
thing.
Man.
It is unfair, man.
One stream gets you like, depending on the streaming service, like 0.0014 cents, like off of 1 penny. You know what I'm saying? You don't even get a penny for a stream. That's like crazy to me.
What other career has that happening? Zero.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, slavery. Yeah.
Right.
Slavery. There you go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Crazy.
I don't know. Something I want to see done different is streaming things, but also just like labels taking advantage of artists.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially with like a lot of these contracts that are out, like the artist gets fucked 80% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially with just like, especially if you're a new artist, you know, you kind of ignorant about like the ins and outs of just like contracts and like lawyers and just the whole rigmarole you get taken advantage of. So I kind of, it's like, I don't know, with these labels, it's like I don't know, it's like, I don't know, it's like a culture of just bullshit. A culture of just scamming.
It's very easy to take advantage of somebody who loves what they do.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's the thing.
Like, would you do music if you felt like, I mean, like you're pursuing this 100% as like this is what you do. You know what I mean, like all day, every day, you're a musician, you're an artist, you're a vocalist. Would you do this if you felt like you could be happy doing anything else?
Yes.
It's difficult, man.
Not to this capacity probably, but the way you put that was perfect. It's this is what we do. This is what we do and who we are, and it's so easy to take advantage of something that your like whole life and identity is. Especially, I don't know, they're giant corporations. They have everything. They you know, they
absolutely, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I can't see myself like doing this full time if I didn't love this as much as I did. You know what I mean? Like literally everything I am, everything I do is like the first thing. Yeah. Like the first thing I think about when I wake up and last thing I think about before I go to bed is music. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say that, but yeah.
Within reason. Like it's, you know.
Most of the time.
You know. Like that's how I feel, man. Like because it makes so much more sense to do, like, you know, financially anyway, to do anything else.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, you know, I used to weld before this. I was like
making bank.
Shit
was
you told
lit.
me this.
Yeah, literally.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, man, I was building submarines and like it was Gucci. Life was good, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I just wasn't nearly as happy as I am now doing this.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Even though I'm not nearly as comfortable, you know, and it's so yeah, I feel like that's what labels are really capitalizing on. Just like, you know, they're gonna do this because they love this more than anything. You know, more than their girlfriend, more than their boyfriend, whatever. Like they do this. This is a part of them. You know? So it's easy to take advantage of cats like us, you know? Especially
if they're in like
so true.
Like financial straits, like especially in like hip hop and rap and stuff. Like a lot of rappers are still in the slums, in the ghettos, and like I'll say this, in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? And you know they're eager. But they're eager to get out. You know what I'm saying? By any means necessary. So when you know that, coupled with you know, illiteracy coming when it comes to like contracts and stuff like that, it's just like a recipe for getting fucked. How to get fucked? Number one, be poor. Number two, don't know about contracts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I feel like those coupled together is like a recipe for scamming. Not scamming, but being taken advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. So that's the things I kind of want to see different about the music industry, in the next 5 years, man. Yeah.
5 years, huh?
Yeah. What's
such a short amount of time for like real shit to change.
Yeah.
That's
tough. 5 years ago, I was in it was 2000 and pretty much 17 almost. That's crazy. That's wild. So you know.
Playing bar gigs.
Right.
Getting $30.
50. It was 50. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
so what do you have coming out? I know you have a single coming out, and I just found out I'm on it. So yeah. So
let's flex real quick.
Right.
Let's go. I actually have to show it to you. I didn't realize I didn't send it to you guys, but so there's a song called Aries Sun. Okay. Which you both are on, which is super dope.
Oh.
Produced by Louis Lastic.
Okay.
And
Lastic.
You're doing the yeah. Featuring Zakari.
Okay.
And then so that's gonna be the first single, and then
Shout out to Zakari.
Yeah, shout out Zakari. He's great. And then there's gonna be a second single. I'm trying to think how much I should give away right now. There's gonna be a second single called Night Vision.
Okay.
And then a project.
What's that about, Night Vision?
What's it about?
Yeah, what's it about?
It's an R&B track.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna do. It's yeah.
Got you.
That's what I'll give you about that one.
There we go.
But
right.
yeah, I'm geeked. Remind me to send you that one later today.
For sure. When you plan on releasing?
When
should people be looking out for that?
I am aiming for October.
Okay.
I am not fully positive yet. To be determined. But we're aiming for
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
I'm like anticipating the date being pushed, so I'm trying not to, you know. But yeah, we're working on it. We're mixing right now.
Okay. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I think in October is when I might drop a single too.
Yeah? What are you working on?
I'm working on my next project. So
EP,
and
album?
I think September is when like my contract ends and when I can release some more music.
Okay.
So I think I might drop a single like early October, early mid to October. So I gotta make sure I don't drop it on the same week as you. So you know.
We'll be good.
What about you, Dan? You got anything coming up? What's going on with you? What's going on in Dan world?
You were just telling me.
What was I? Oh yeah, no, just don't worry about it. There's some things coming out. There's some things that just came out. Maxwell and I both worked on Fabo's project, so I got a few tracks on that.
Shout out Fabo.
Fabo's that dude.
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah, he is.
Got a bunch of songs with Ombre. That's gonna come out soon.
One day.
It could be tomorrow. Could be 9 months from now. Who knows? But it's and some other things.
You're so sneaky. Look at this.
Yeah. Right.
Some other things. Man.
Sneaky link head is.
Some things.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
All right, cool.
I don't want to jinx anything.
I love that.
Right. Same. What's your Instagram, your social, so the people listening and watching can check you out. IG. What's your IG?
IG is at Asal Hazel. Actually, everywhere, I think.
Okay.
Twitter is at AsalHazel _. So ASALHAZEL.
I'm gonna put it right there.
Boom.
I got you.
Yeah, that's everywhere.
Okay. You can follow Dan at DanXForte on Instagram, and I'm sure if that's everywhere, but definitely on Instagram. You can follow me on IG. It's Maxwell _Sensei. And make sure to definitely follow the Lobby Call Podcast Instagram page. It's Lobby Call Podcast. And up there we post clips and got merch coming soon. I know I've been saying that for the longest. I've been saying that for the longest, but we actually, we do. It's working. It's in the works. But yeah, man, I had fun. Any last closing words from Asal?
I don't think so. I think we got it all in.
Okay.
Sick, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had
Appreciate
fun.
You.
This was fun.
Yeah. So that's been another episode of Lobby Call, and that's a wrap.
Ew, ew.